welcome to Conscious Curiosities, where we unlock the wisdom of the universe which lies within us. I'm Maria Luce, your host, an astrologer, hypnotist, and psychic medium. I've been talking about the energy of 2026, and last week I was talking about the planets Saturn and Neptune as they move from the sign of Pisces, which is the end of the zodiac, into the very beginning of the zodiac, into Aries. And those transitions take place over the next few weeks. And I say transition, but it's not going to be a gradual, stepwise transition. It may feel quite confronting, and that's why I left us with this idea of Saturn perhaps bringing about the consequences of where we have strayed into the land of delusion or illusion, because it may be hitting us in the face, whether we like it or not. And in my Substack that goes out Friday as well, I talked a little bit about this, about how we tend to, at the beginning of the year, we want to set resolutions and make all these improvements to ourselves. However, we may be taking steps, but we're not taking the right steps because they're not honoring our authenticity. And we tend to just, I don't know, maybe I should just say be lazy about our creativity when it comes to how we want to improve ourselves or what we think is possible. It's almost scary to allow ourselves to imagine what we really want. And so we just tend to look at what's on offer that already exists, that somebody else created, and just latch onto that and make that our goal or our plan. And no wonder it fails because that energy is not our energy. So I am wanting to just call attention to really understanding your own energy and what it wants. And then having some kind of way that it can exist in your body, tell you what it is that might really light you up, and that lighting you up is the key to taking the aligned actions and the steps up until you can manifest whatever you want to. And when I say whatever you want to, I mean, like, again, not something that's externally motivated, but your deepest. Like, how do I want to feel in my life? What are my deepest values? If I value autonomy and freedom, but I tell myself I want to start this business, and I want to be generating, X amount of dollars, and that requires me to work, 60 or 80 hours a week, or do a bunch of admin or marketing, then I'm not really free, am I? So there's going to be resistance. There's going to be a deflation of your energy as you start to take steps towards that externally driven goal. So, what I'm saying is, as Saturn and Neptune move into Aries, Aries is so much about being in your body. However, I think most of us have a complicated relationship with being in our bodies. And even if we have taken time to do yoga or learn how to breathe, or we exercise regularly, we we may be in our body, but we may not be acknowledging the emotions that are in there with us, or the energy that is in there, because we're so used to just pushing it aside or squashing it. But this transition of Saturn and Neptune into Aries, it's going to make you feel like you've got to get moving. And so I'm just bringing this up because I've had to do this myself. Really, really, before I know that energy is gonna hit me and light me up and make me want to start, moving really quickly. I need to know what it is that I truly want out of life. What are my most precious values? What do I want my days to feel like? So that way, when I feel that sense of urgency hit, I will know to evaluate, okay, is this thing I'm feeling pushed to do right now, is that aligned with my larger theme of my life that I know feels good, that I know I want, deeply for myself, that I put myself on this earth to experience. And sometimes it's going to be unclear, right? And that's okay, but we'll learn as we go, but at least we've taken that time to try to understand, be here in the body, have our emotions with us, in the body, to take a survey of them and welcome them all, and listen, and then we can be enthusiastic about taking that first step. So I think the next topic for this 2026 energy will be Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini, which happens later in April. Um, However, there is a new moon on Sunday. It's a Capricorn new moon, and that is a kind of planning, practical new moon energy. So, if you have time and interest, maybe just have a little meeting with yourself and and align deeply on what you want for yourself on the truest, deepest level. Not a fantasy that's driven from the ego, but deeper, deeper, deeper that resonates. And see what you come up with and maybe write it down. And I will see you here again next week. Thanks.